We welcome you to New York's Capital Region in the Times Union Center in Albany for MAAC Men's Basketball Tournament first round action. It's the 10 seed Fairfield taking on the 7 seed Manhattan, joined by former Monmouth Hawk Steve Bazaz. Greg Meskel here with you. We take a look at the bracket presented by the New York Lotto. Steve, this is how things have shaken out thus far. So far, so exciting. St. Peter's defeating Marist 71-68 in overtime in our most recent matchup. This, the second of 3 games the Monmouth Hawks will take on Niagara in the nightcap here in Albany. And that takes us into our key players in this one. We start first with Fairfield and Landon Taliaferro.
Well, Taliaferro, the JUCO transfer, is tied for third in three-pointers in the season at Fairfield. It's 88 threes on the year, leads the team in scoring, shoots about 40% from three.
So he can hit from the outside. Now we look at Manhattan and the freshman Warren Williams, a force down low.
Well, he's really emerged with Paulie Polycap going down. Williams has stepped up. All-rookie team player, leads the league in field goal percentage in MAAC play. And
he's gotten in better shape as the season has gone on, become a focus for this man, Steve Masiello, leading the Manhattan Jaspers in his 8th season. He's been a part of multiple MAAC titles as both an assistant and a head coach. He goes up against Sidney Johnson from Fairfield, also in his 8th season, and part of that spirited run to the title match last year, falling to Iona.
Oh, that was a great run led by Tyler Nelson. The leading scorer in school history has graduated. New players in. Can't wait for this one, Greg. Should have a good one.
Yeah, we are underway here in Albany. It's Manhattan in the white and Fairfield in the dark. And Nehemiah MAAC controls things and gets it over and out to the freshman Samir Stewart, and they work it down low. This is 2 teams with young players, and one of those young players, Warren Williams, traveling early on.
And that will be an interesting matchup throughout the game, the freshman Williams against the senior Kasababu.
Yeah, Kasababu is a big guy down low. Williams has had his way against smaller teams. He's going to find that Kasababu matches up quite well physically under the basket. Neftali Alvarez, Taj Benning, Jonathan Kasababu, Mattia Millen, and Landon Taliaferro, the starting 5 for Coach Johnson. Taliaferro, we talked about his three-point prowess. He's off the mark there. Warren Williams, Samir Stewart, Nehemiah MAAC, Christian Hinkson, Tyler Reynolds, the group for Coach Masiello. Here's Hinkson stepping into a triple. That's good, and the Jaspers are on the board first.
Nice ball screen action there by the Jaspers. Williams rolls. Hinkson lifts to the wing, gets an open look.
Part of a big freshman class, Christian Hinkson, one of many guys that has had to fill a role. Stags looking for their first bucket here. Early stages from 3. That's good. We're tied at 3 as Alvarez connects.
Well, this will be important in this game. 3-point shooting from the outside. Manhattan likes to press and fall back into that zone. We know Fairfield likes to shoot the 3 and shoot a lot of them.
Yeah, this is a little bit of differing styles here as Tyler Reynolds sliding backdoor. Good look to Williams. Comfortable down low. Goes back rim too strong, but Fairfield wants to do this, run and gun. Manhattan wants to slow things down, trap, press, do their defense.
Well, very important for Fairfield to get stops. You don't let Manhattan set up their press and also score in transition. Don't let the Jaspers set up their zone.
This the rubber match, the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams. Each side winning a match, and both games very different. Manhattan winning early in the year, 62-49. They controlled that one on January 31st. Fairfield came back with a win in their gymnasium, 72-59. Williams back to the basket. Fairfield, Steve, they've watched the tape. They're coming with that double, not letting Warren Williams operate one-on-one.
And tough call there on Kasababu, and that's something that's really plagued Kasababu. And such an important player for them, but he does seem to get in foul trouble. Quite honestly, I thought that was a great job of him coming over as Williams was turning baseline, and Williams turned right into Kasababu. Tough call.
That was a problem for the senior in the earlier meeting against Manhattan, getting in some foul trouble, and if he's not there, Warren Williams is going to have a much easier time as he rattles the first one in.
Warren Williams on the season is a 46% free throw shooter. Probably absolutely his biggest Achilles heel, because he's a guy that plays a lot around the rim. He gets fouled off and he gets to the line a lot. Right on cue, bangs down 2 free throws.
Announcer jinx, reverse jinx, if you will, knocks them both down, and he'll sub out, and Abube will come on for Manhattan. He has been Mr. Intangible this year for the Jaspers, does all those little things, taking charges, rebounding, offensive and defensive glass. Taliaferro, good look, and Casababu down low, goes up strong and finishes.
Oh, great job, Taliaferro, attacking the gaps of the zone, finding Casababu in the short corner, and then Casababu attacking the rim, strong finish.
Talked about his efforts to stay out of foul trouble on defense. Important to get him involved offensively as well.
And you see how much smaller Manhattan gets when Warren Williams goes out of the game.
Hinks a nice little stop and go, and you're right, Williams is a big presence down low. They don't have a lot of big bodies, so when Warren Williams isn't there, we mentioned Polycap has not played since January, out with a season-ending injury, so they don't have as much size. Samson Usillo comes on now.
And Steve Masiello will cycle in a lot of players into his rotation.
Well, you can't play that style of defense without having guys in and out. It requires a high level of energy.
I love their style of defense. They get up and down. I love Nehemiah Mack on the ball. In that line of Manhattan point guards, Rashawn Storrs, Tyler Wilson, pressuring the ball at the top of the press.
But how tiring is that style of defense?
Oh, it's very tiring, and like you said, it's important to have guys that come in off the bench, come in and play their role, and what you'll always get with the Steve Masiello coach team is guys who play hard.
Yeah, these guys, they come in, they know they might only be out there for a few minutes, going to give it their very best. 3 minutes plus gone by here, first half. It's a 7-5 lead for the Jaspers. This is first round action. Winner here will take on the 2-seed Canisius tomorrow night. Millen, difficult shot. Casababu right there, powers it up and almost too strong and lays it in.
And that's an advantage right now for the Stags with Williams out of the game. Casababu getting that ball inside. Nice job by him on the glass.
Coach Johnson raving about Casababu this week prior to this game and what he's meant to this program. Not just the stats, but the leadership, all those little things you want from a senior. Mack in trouble, and a double dribble. Picked up his own dribble and went with it again. Alvarez delivering the pressure.
Usually it's Mack on the other end with that pressure. Alvarez, the freshman.
And now Manhattan getting into more of their freshman crew as Elijah Buchanan and Tyke Green come on. So we saw Tyler Reynolds go out without really getting an opportunity on offense. He'll be a key guy if Manhattan wants to get the victory here tonight. Pressure there from Samir Stewart as Benning handles it well. Looking for a little pick and roll with Casababu. Now Taliaferro as the shot clock comes to 10. Patience from the Stags. In the corner, Millen drills that corner three, and Matija Millen, the senior from Serbia, hitting.
That's a great job of offense by Fairfield. Patience and Millen, who was posting up a lot of that possession low, dives or sprints out to the left corner there, gets an open look.
Remind you, in football, sometimes a receiver's just got to get open. The shot clock was winding down. He made himself available. Here's Green, out of control, an offensive foul. Casababu, a nice job standing in to take the charge. So he's doing the job on offense and now drawing the charge on defense. The senior, a focus for Fairfield.
Manhattan College has been shaping the greatest city in the world since 1853. But what you'll find here might surprise you. It's a small campus in a big city. It's where strong values meet open minds, knowledge becomes innovation, and changed lives become unbreakable bonds. Because when you welcome different perspectives, you rise above the expected and the world follows. That's the Manhattan experience.
Good look at the Manhattan Jaspers. Steve, this is a team that has had a lot of turnover, bringing on 7 freshmen plus a transfer. So much talent departing last year, Fairfield in a bit of a similar boat, having to get young talent involved in a hurry.
I think what Steve Masiello has done with his team this year has been phenomenal. And add the fact that Paulie Polycap got hurt in early January. And the team, last year's team, had so much scoring on it. Xavier Turner, Zane Waterman, Rich Williams, Calvin Crawford. I mean, there was scoring, there was veteran players, and they all graduated. And now you got to work young guys into the system. I think Masiello's done a great job. And
credit to both of these coaches. Things you saw both teams go through, losing streaks. Manhattan went 0 for December. Fairfield had a losing spurt early in the non-conference slate as a drive right down Main Street is all good for Alvarez. And he has put Fairfield ahead 12-7. They both put those losing streaks behind them and turned it on in conference play to get to this point at least.
And both teams losing very important players from the year before, so that's going to happen. You have to work young guys into the fold. Fairfield only lost their leading scorer in school history. Also, Jerome Segura, who was a great leader for them at the point guard position. And Farron Flavors transferred out, and that's something, too. Some guys have been leaving their program, so you got to get new guys in. And Taliaferro has been huge for them, for the Stags coming in from JUCO.
On the other end now, Samson Usillo, a great story on this Jasper team, works his way to the bucket looking for the three-point play. Back iron there, but the senior from Nigeria has missed parts of 3 seasons with this Jaspers team for a variety of reasons, injuries and other things, and was featured earlier in the year in the New York Post, Fox 5 in New York doing a great story on Usillo. As Alvarez again, and Neftali Alvarez making headlines early with that bucket from deep.
Well, Alvarez is a guy who scores about 10 a game, a streaky player, can score the basketball though, a guy who's also on the all-rookie team.
Yeah, a real talent here, and part of that new crop that they're excited about, they're happy to be onboarding this season. Buchanan's turned away in close. Fairfield starting to go on a run here. Benning advancing now. It was Casababu earlier, Alvarez now.
Greg, this game changed to me when Warren Williams went out.
You're spot on. He was a presence down low. That opened it up for Casababu. That opened it up for everybody else. Shot clock to 6. Taliaferro off balance and a foul there with 5 on the timer. And as you mentioned, Warren Williams, he is set to return.
I think that's important to get him back in the game, to be a presence down low. We saw a couple possessions before. Alvarez goes right down the middle. When do you see that against a Steve Masiello defense? He was able to get to the bucket. Taliaferro shooting a pull-up jump shot, probably not his strength, but gets bailed out with a foul call. Now he's going to the free throw line.
The junior from Boulder, Colorado. And now Manhattan bringing some firepower back with Williams and Reynolds. And Tyler Reynolds, one of those junior college transfers. And the sharpshooter played big in the win over Fairfield, 17 points. And then in the loss, only played 8 minutes. So 2 very different experiences. But when he gets in a rhythm, and he did for a portion of conference play, made the Jaspers a different team.
Well, when Reynolds and Stewart are hitting shots and really threes, and Manhattan's a different team offensively. As a whole, they really struggle to score the basketball, only scoring 57 points per game. But when Stewart and Reynolds can shoot and make open looks, then they're different.
Totally. This is a team that can then get in the 70s and the 80s as Williams bowls over Casababu on the charge.
That's a great job again by Casababu, and you know he's already got that 1 foul, and if he picks up a second one, he'll be heading to the bench. But sacrificing his body, taking a charge.
And that couldn't have been comfortable. Warren Williams, a big guy, 6'9", 240, came bull rushing down the middle. Good start for Fairfield early. Benning on the move, floating it up, back iron, and MAAC will come down with it. Sophomore captain. And now Williams demanding that basketball, working against Millen. Spinning and going up strong, he draws the foul.
That is a good-looking move from a freshman who's got all-league player written all over him in the future. Drag and drop, spinning back to his left hand and going up strong. Drag and drop to the middle, spin back baseline. That's a good-looking move.
pulls that move off as if he has practiced it many, many times, as you can imagine he has, and getting the free throws in gear here in the first half. Puts that one down, and for Fairfield now, Jesus Cruz will come on, the sophomore from Puerto Rico. He has had some spurts. We talked about Reynolds. Cruz has had some moments this season where he has filled it up in bunches. Williams hits again. So Warren Williams, 4 for 4 from the free throw line in a season where he has struggled to make those shots.
And that's a huge lift, and confidence-wise, that's great for Warren Williams. And how many points does he leave on the board when he gets fouled shooting layup or dunk attempts? Well, if he can convert from the free throw line, his scoring average is going to go way up too.
Thomas Capuano's come on from behind, forcing that tip away. Spot on about Williams, and that is the evolution of so many big men that can't shoot free throws. You start breaking it down by math, you're leaving X number of points on the board.
Yeah, and defensively, if a guy like that's getting a close look at the rim, you got to make sure you make him earn it from the free throw line.
Reynolds from 3, able to hit. Tyler Reynolds coming on and knocking down his first triple. So now the Jaspers trying to battle back here against the Stags.
And what's important for Manhattan, too, is that when they get makes, they can set up their press.
Alvarez off the mark, hit the triple early.
Now, Alvarez only shoots 23% from 3. Manhattan going underneath the zone.
Williams off the mark and controlled by Cruz. Under 12 to play, first half. Taliaferro, mismatch there with Williams. Taliaferro wide open, knocks it down. Nobody home for the Jaspers, and Taliaferro taking advantage.
Well, you certainly can't lose that guy. And he runs all the way from one side of the floor to the other when Jesus Cruz caught that ball in the low post. Ran right to the left wing, it was wide open.
Jaspers have a memory of this man. He scored 26 points, 8 threes when the Jaspers lost to the Stags in Connecticut. And a foul now as Manhattan working their way back to the basket. And we're at our latest timeout. Stags up early, 20-14. We're back to Albany with more after this.
Cool. What do we do at halftime? Do we do anything at halftime?
I'm not sure.
I need to grab a water. Where'd you get those from?
Eddie brought it a while ago.
Oh, okay.
But it's up in that same room, I think. Okay, great.
I'll text Eddie.
Got it. Taliaferro or Alvarez? Alvarez. Okay. Cool.
Bless you.
Fairfield ahead early over Manhattan in this first round matchup in the MAAC men's basketball tournament. 19-14 there in front, thanks in large part to the freshman all-rookie selection, Neftali Alvarez.
An ultra-confident young player is Alvarez, and we talked that he's a guy that only shoots 23% from 3 coming into this game, but right now he's got it going.
Shoot or shoot, right? Comes in 27 of 105 from deep. wouldn't have guessed that at all, the way he confidently has put up triples early on, knocking down 2 of them. Now with 8 points in 9 minutes. On the other end, Warren Williams continues his parade to the free throw line. This is now his 3rd opportunity at the stripe. And first miss. And the evolution of Williams this season, when Polycap goes out, it had been kind of a 2-man game with post-up opportunities. When Polycap was in, Williams was out, vice versa. No Polycap, it's been all Williams, and he has had to really work himself into a guy that was going to play a lot of minutes.
Oh, how big is this for Williams, his development, getting a chance to play so much in his freshman year, and what a front court that Manhattan could have when Polycap comes back.
Yeah, really developing into something special, especially defense, given Polycap's history as a conference defensive player of the year. Fairfield, they're thinking the same thing about their guards when you're talking about Taliaferro, Alvarez, Casababu on the redirect. He can't put that home. And then he fouls Abube on the rebound, it looks like. You've talked about his fouls, Steve. He has 2 here in the first half, and now does Sidney Johnson take him out immediately?
And he's probably going to come out, and that's an important development in this game, and we'll see how Manhattan attacks them without Casababu in. It looked like he got called for a reach-in after he missed that tip-in attempt. And those are the plays where your bigs can't get called for reach-ins, plays away from the rim, not contesting shots. That's where you want them to use their fouls.
Wasif Methani comes on. Reynolds. And they'll keep it right there. Abube getting inside Methnani. This is what Abube does. Just finds kind of the fissures in the defense and offense where he can slide in and grab a rebound or draw a charge, force an offensive. And the officials will take a look here. So reviewing this last play, which was called a foul against Fairfield and over the back there as Abube was gathering position. A good look at Coach Steve Masiello. Knows what it takes to run this team through the conference tournament as Abube battling here, and a good fight there with Methnani.
And good call on Methnani, who wrapped him up. And I mean, Steve Masiello does just a phenomenal job. And his energy, his teams always are a reflection of him and how competitive he is. And I love their style and the way they press. They fall back into that zone. And it really gives teams fits. And it's so tough to prepare.
And as they review here, the possibility of a flagrant 1 being called. Officials are huddling up. They've reviewed.
On the wrap-up?
That did not seem that intense, but we have seen that more and more this season. Anything getting close to a little too much physicality, and they're erring on the side of caution. Looks as if we've been signaled a flagrant 1. And the call is confirmed. It's a hook and hold, flagrant 1.
Wow.
And this is, of course, aimed at player safety and looking to deter these types of movements going forward. And, Steve, you give a wow, right? Because you, like I, if you watched basketball in the 1990s, you're saying maybe not even a foul call, just play on.
Yeah, it was a foul. He wrapped him up. He grabbed his arm. The referee made the call, made the right call. It was a good call. I think calling a flagrant is just a little excessive. And it all comes back to being able to go to the monitor.
Yep.
And you can analyze and pick apart every single play. Now, it's a big moment for Manhattan. Down 5.
Battling back.
You get a couple free throws here, and you get the ball back, and all of a sudden, you might be even.
Abube goes 1 for 2. And that term, too, I think people typically associate flagrant with real physical, a big-time altercation.
Yeah,
something malicious. Yeah. You're going for a lab
just basketball.
Dramatically push you out of the way, or
right. And what we just saw was basketball. 2 guys battling for position.
Manhattan will see if they can benefit. Abube makes 1 of 2, now controlling. MAAC in trouble. Here's Abube. A scramble, and Mithnani comes up with it. Extended playing time here for Samson Usillo in this first half. Under 10 to play, first half. Taliaferro. Nothing there as Green and Stewart await their return. Benning going one-on-one. Fading. Not there, and Abube controls. Reynolds left free for a moment. Hit the first. Off the mark on the next two, but an offensive rebound, and MAAC will set things back up with a trio of Jaspers waiting to come on.
Oh, nice job there by Usillo on the long rebound.
Yeah, giving some valuable minutes here in the first half. Good pick and roll. Abube, easy money down the lane.
And Alvarez on the weak side there, hugging his man. He's got to be in the paint at the midline to protect against that roll.
And this is what the Jaspers want to do now, set up this trapping opportunity. Credit Fairfield breaking it well. Coach Sidney Johnson talking about preparing for this, getting ready for facing this defense leading up to this matchup tonight. Alvarez now down the lane. Abube draws the charge.
And that's his specialty, right, Greg?
He has drawn, at one point, 6 charges in a single game. He has become the expert in MAAC basketball in drawing the charge.
Some guys can't draw 6 charges in a season, in their career. 6 charges in a game by Abube. Nice job, and that's the right call. Alvarez needs to come to a jump stop, pull up, and shoot it over him. But Abube stepping up and drawing it.
In the Bronx, they call that the Abube trap. Luring him in, drawing the charge. Hinkson down the middle, right around Mithnani and in, and we are tied at 20.
Sidney Johnson's got to be disappointed in the last 2 possessions. 2 easy layups for Manhattan, right to the rim.
And the defense was something he was high on as the season came to a close. Felt like everyone was working in unison. Taliaferro. Good back tap. Cruz will keep it alive. Right at Abube, too strong.
Oh, great move by Cruz. He's got to finish that one.
Trouble at half court. Hinkson. And he calls for time. Able to call for time before the tie-up. The arrow would have favored Fairfield. But instead, a timeout is called, and that'll lead to our next media timeout. So we're all even at 20 as the Manhattan Jaspers have worked their way back in with a 6-0 run over the last 2:45. Got a game on our hands here in Albany. Back after this. Fairfield hasn't scored in the last 3:38. It's allowed Manhattan to climb back into this one and tie things up at 20 in the 7-10 matchup here in the first round of the MAAC men's basketball tournament. Steve Bazaz, Greg Meskel here with you from the Times Union Center in Albany. And Manhattan doing what the Jaspers do, forcing some things on defense and then taking advantage on offense.
Yeah, Manhattan's done a good job in the last few minutes of turning some defense into offense. For the most part, though, Greg, both teams playing pretty efficient game. Fairfield 7 of 14, 50%. Manhattan 6 of 11, 54%. I think you'd sign for that for a team that has really struggled to score this season.
That's one of the things for Manhattan. They haven't been one of those teams that can come back. If they get down by too much, it's been a struggle to battle back in games. Green trying to bull his way to the hoop, and Methnani comes up with the steal. Stags on the move. Capuano tries to draw the charge. Green goes up to take down the Alvarez attempt off the window. A wacky sequence there as Capuano let the ball go by, tried to pick up a charge, and in the end, it works out for Manhattan.
Well, I like the no call because that had nothing to do with the play. But
Yep.
I do think that Fairfield's got to finish more of these plays at the rim.
Capuano on the back door, and Manhattan is in front now.
And you see that was a design play right out of the timeout. Capuano gets that whole side clear. They dribble at him, take him back door, and nice finish.
A senior on this Manhattan team, a senior on a very young Jasper basketball team, and he gives Manhattan their first lead since 7-5. Benning unable to hit, but right to a waiting Taliaferro. Nails it.
You knew that one was going down. Just like a pass out of the post, the ball bangs off the front of the rim right to Taliaferro, and he gets a wide open look.
About as good as a chest pass during practice there as he was waiting and hits. It puts Fairfield back in front 23-22. This is how you liked him, right, Steve? Easy bounce right back out from three.
It's beautiful right there. Just like the shooting gun.
Exactly.
And you know what? On Manhattan's side, sometimes it's just unfortunate. How can you say that you play good defense, you get a ball that hits off the front of the rim and goes right to the best shooter on the other team? Sometimes you're just unlucky. The one that would bother me more is the one when he ran all the way across the court to the left wing and caught that one from Jesus Cruz earlier in the first half when he was wide open on that one.
On the other end, Green hits the first free throw. And I think the idea there is that you do all those good things on defense so that you can handle one of the unlucky ones that come along. And Green knocks them both down, and back and forth we go. As Manhattan hops back in front by one, Jaspers used a 13-3 run to come back in this one. Taj Benning, a sophomore. Taliaferro, double covered. Benning wide open if they can get it to him. Cruz goes off balance hook, and Abube is there, and Taj Benning clamoring for that basketball. They had him wide open on the far side.
Cruz decided to go up. I like Cruz in the post. He's a big guard that can score down there.
Jesus Cruz goes 6'5", 210. Definitely a bit bigger than your prototypical MAAC guard. And the reach in here on Benning as Hinkson was working his way to the basket. He had success previously with the right-hand drive. This time tries to work in the paint.
Tough place to go behind the back, right in the middle of the lane in traffic there, and got away with one.
Cruz will check out. Mattia Millen comes on. And now Hinkson to the line. The freshman from Queens. And a 1-on-1 there. So he'll get another. That's the 8th team foul on Fairfield. So a couple away here from shooting 2 for the rest of this first half. And he buries both. This gives Stewart and the long arms of Elijah Buchanan a chance to try and set things up for some backcourt pressure.
By the time Fairfield gets in their offense, there's about 15 on the shot clock.
That's what sometimes goes unsaid about the press. It doesn't always lead to a steal, though here it does for a moment, and then Fairfield gets it back. But part of it is derailing your offensive attempt, and not there because Wasif Methnani hammers it down low.
Oh, great recovery by the Stags, and Alvarez able to get into the lane and drop it off. And no Warren Williams. Oh, Methnani going up strong against the smaller Abube.
That's a good way to finish kind of a frantic possession that saw a turnover for a moment. Hinkson draws another foul. He'll go back to the free throw line as he's working on Mattia Millen down low.
Nickel dimers being a little nickel dimer action on Fairfield the last few fouls.
Second look here at Methnani finishing strong.
It's a great look by Alvarez too, and Methnani going up strong. Alvarez pumped up.
And how often do you watch a big in this league and say, whatever you do, just finish strong at the rim, or try to. Try and dunk it or try and draw that foul. It's going to lead to so many more opportunities for your team.
And typically when a big goes up to actually dunk it is when they get called, get fouls, and are able to get themselves to the free throw line.
Free throws are there for the Jaspers. And then they force a turnover. Last touch by Fairfield. And Williams returns. Abube takes his seat. Fairfield staff in disbelief that that one was last touch on the Stags. Let's take a second look here.
Yeah, that's off Buchanan.
Looked to be off Buchanan's foot in between the leg of the offensive player, legs of offensive player.
But no monitor on that one. But we can go to the monitor for a hold flagrant foul. Guys boxing out.
Get the feeling you might have some changes in the rules if you were in charge. 28-25 lead for Manhattan. Alvarez. Great up fake, gets rid of Stewart, wheeling, dealing, and finishing.
Wow, what a move by Alvarez. Love it by the little guy.
Neftali Alvarez, the finish, and then the excitement, looking to get his teammates fired up. Near charge there, no call, and Stewart now will set things up. Williams tries to work in low. It's a kick on Methnani.
Good defense there by Benning up the court on the sideline right in front of us against Stewart. I thought he was going to get that call.
Look at the work here from Neftali Alvarez.
What a move. Can't teach that. Great job going around the big and the finish.
Monster fake, gets rid of the perimeter defender and then takes him to the bucket. Here's MAAC. Shot clock to 4. Green knows it. Let's fly. And Williams will go up high to grab that one. Of course, Fairfield looking over the back as they've been called for that previously. But it's a new shot clock for the Jaspers.
Frustrating end to that sequence there. It was a shot that you want Manhattan shooting. Tyke Green, contested 3.
He had to do everything else there, then unable to corral the rebound. And Williams using his height. Approaching 3.5 left here, first half. Good back and forth between Manhattan and Fairfield. 10th time they're meeting in the MAAC tournament. Alvarez gets the friendly roll here at the Times Union Center and puts the Stags in front 30-28.
Well, Manhattan's been going underneath the screen because scouting report says Alvarez is a low percentage three-point shooter. But today, it's different. He's got it going. So you might have to adjust in the second half, start going over the screen.
Well, Alvarez started off with the threes. He knocked him down. That made the Jaspers respect his jumper. He went to the hoop, and now he's back from long range, and Fairfield is back in front after a friendly roll for the Stags. Good back and forth affair here between Fairfield and Manhattan. Stags in the lead 30-28. First meeting for these two in MAAC tournament play since 2013. That was a Jasper win there. But Fairfield, they've used the 3-ball to pull back in front now, 6 of 10 from downtown. Meanwhile, Manhattan, Steve, they've made their money at the free throw line, 12 of 15, anchored by 5 of 6 from Warren Williams.
That's the name of the game for Fairfield. We know they're going to shoot the 3. If they shoot it at a high clip, it'll give them a big-time shot. And right now, they're off to a great start. Now 6 of 10 from the outside. Alvarez with 3 of them.
Reynolds has returned. And Williams now back to work. Feeling for that single coverage. Has it, goes up, and a jump ball is the call. And the arrow is in favor of Fairfield.
It's a great job of one-on-one post defense by Methnani. And good call on the jump ball.
And you can be sure coaches have talked to Methnani. Use your height. You're 6'8". Stand there, put your arms up, start there. As Williams will deliver a bevy of head fakes on offense. Pressure here. Fairfield eludes it. Under 3 to play, first half. Alvarez. On the move, nothing there. Now shot clock to 6. Stags have to go. Methnani from the outside, and Wasif Methnani connecting from deep. And it's a 5-point advantage for Fairfield.
Well, Methnani is a guy who can shoot it from the outside, shoots a little over 30% from 3, but has a soft touch. And a lot of those Fairfield 4s, those stretch 4s, can step out and shoot.
Yeah, they have the height. They're not necessarily post-up guys, even though they're in that 6'8", 6'9" range. Methnani, the sophomore from Tunisia, he is comfortable from the outside. Abube hard to the hoop. Stewart wide open. Can't knock it down. And Fairfield now with a chance to build. They're on an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes and change. And they have gone back in front now, 33-28. Alvarez kind of probing that defense, and now they'll regroup. Cruz, Methnani, blocked from behind. Reynolds there to turn it away after he tried to go up strong once more. Jasper's breakout. Stewart in rhythm from 3, no good. And Abube can't keep it alive. Samir Stewart has had these stretches where he has been dynamite from downtown and then fallen into some lulls, and probably part of that freshman journey.
Well, I think that's the difference in the game right now is Reynolds and Stewart are combined 1 of 5 from 3, and then as a team, Fairfield is 7 of 11 from 3, and they want to put them up, and they're not shy of letting them fly. And I thought that was great execution against the zone. Just Methnani couldn't finish the end of the play, but great job of screening, getting in, making the big of the zone step up, and then dropping off to Methnani in the short corner. Just got to finish. Fairfield's left some points on the board at the rim.
And they have, and that's been their approach, almost kind of wading into the ocean. How close can we get to the basket, see what Manhattan is doing, how close will they let us get to the hoop, and then we dish off, we kick out, maybe something pick and roll backdoor. They've gotten some opportunities that way. And this is a team, Fairfield, the record won't blow you away. 9-21, 6-12 in conference. Had some rocky moments in conference play, but it's a team that knows all you need to do is get to this weekend and you can make a run. They were not expected to go far last year. They went all the way to the tournament final before falling to Iona.
Fairfield took the 6th seed last year and played a nice game in the final against Iona. Tyler Nelson leading the way for them, and just drew all the attention of the defense.
No surprise.
Really made it easier for his teammates to get some looks too. Fairfield right now is on an 8-0 run. 4 out of their last 5, knocking down shots. And Manhattan in a huge drought, almost 4 minutes now, not scoring.
Methnani works away from the double team from Capuano. We're under a minute to play now, first half here in Albany. Cruz stumbling, tries to go backdoor. Usillo reads it, and Manhattan out of the pack. Abube pumps on that 3. He lost control, but draws a foul, and Abube will go to the line. Foul goes on Cruz as Abube, the sophomore from San Juan, Puerto Rico, via Lawrenceville Academy in New Jersey. He has done very well against Fairfield this season, as he hits the first free throw, averaging over 17 points per game in 2 games against Fairfield. And that's not typically his style. He's around 6 points per game. So,
and Abube known as more of a defender and a rebounder and a guy who takes a lot of charges. But if you look at his offensive numbers, he's an efficient player. He shoots over 52% from the floor in conference play. He's knocking down a 3 at a high rate as well, 40% in league games. So how about your glue guy is also an efficient offensive player?
He's a guy, to borrow kind of a hockey term, in that plus-minus. When he's on the court, things go better for the Jaspers more often than not. Under 30 to play, first half. It's been a seesaw battle from the jump. Alvarez takes a look, picks up his dribble. Now it's up to Cruz with 4 on the shot clock. The hook off the window's not there. The timer is off, and Manhattan can play for the final shot in this first half. First round action here at the MAAC Basketball Championship here in Albany. 5 seconds left. Abube for the tie from 3. That's off the mark. 1 second left, and Green lost control. It was tipped out off of the Stags, and now with 0.3 of a second left, it'll be the Jaspers looking for perhaps a tip-in or redirect opportunity.
Watch out for the lob. Saw Steve Masiello run a lob play for Rich Williams a few years ago in this situation.
This is Usillo territory. Quick catch and shoot, got it away. It's off the mark. They're saying it wouldn't have counted anyway. 0.3. Can't go catch and shoot, just a redirect. And we come to halftime. Fairfield, the 10 seed. They're over at Manhattan, the 7th seed, by 3, but no lead has been safe in this first half. We're at the break here in Albany. We're back with more. Stay with us. You're watching the MAAC Basketball Championship Tournament. Welcome back. Halftime in Albany. Fairfield over Manhattan, 33-30. It's first round action here at the MAAC basketball tournament. And we take a look at the bracket brought to you by New York Lotto. And this is how things look. We are just getting going here, Steve, in the MAAC championship. St. Peter's, they are moving on. They'll take on the 1 seed Iona. That'll be an interesting matchup tomorrow evening. And then watch out when Siena plays at home against Ryder. They always draw a great crowd here in Albany.
Absolutely. Well, first things first, congratulations to Shaheen Holloway getting a win here in the tournament. Come from behind win against Marist. An interesting matchup against Iona, to say the least. Ryder and Siena is going to be one heck of a game in this building. Looking forward to seeing that one.
And Monmouth Niagara to follow us all right here on the ESPN family of networks. Back to Albany with more all MAAC rookie selections on the way. Stay tuned.
The 2018-19.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Speed and precision. Unrelenting power. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Frozen Four. April 11th and 13th at KeyBank Center in Buffalo.
With a shot. Saved by Morris. Takes the shot.
Visit ncaa.com/Frozen4 and get your ticket.
Halftime here, Manhattan College Pep Band feeling good because their team is down just 3. Fairfield ahead of the Jaspers 33-30 in this 10-7 matchup first round. Steve Bazaz, Greg Meskel here with you, and Steve, Christian Hinkson, the freshman, pacing the Jaspers early.
Hinkson with 11 points in the first half, 3 of 3 from the floor, perfect from the foul line. No, good minutes from the freshman.
On the other side, Neftali Alvarez giving us the full arsenal, the outside and the inside.
Oh, battle of freshmen right now in the first half. And Alvarez, how about this spin move coming up against Williams? And he also knocked down the three. And you see Manhattan going under the screen. We'll see if they adjust in the second half.
And now we'll take a look at our halftime stats. This is brought to you by Pepsi Zero Sugar. And field goals not that far apart. Fairfield, they've had the field goal advantage only because Manhattan has had the free throw advantage.
Yeah, Manhattan 14 of 17 from the free throw line, the best they've shot in a half so far this season.
And those three-point numbers, big for the Stags. 7 triples in that first half. More to come, second half on the way. We're back to the Times Union Center after this. Second half about to begin in Albany. The first day of a whole bunch of basketball in the Capital Region. The MAAC men's and women's basketball tournaments underway here at the Times Union Center. And Manhattan and Fairfield locked in a close one here as we start the second half. Steve Bazaz and Greg Meskel here with you. Warren Williams tries to go right to work at Jonathan Kasababu, and we have a whistle. Fairfield fans can exhale. That is not the third foul on Kasababu. That is on Taj Benning. Here's Nehemiah Mack. Just a sophomore, but in a special club, just one of 6 players to start every game in a season in the Steve Masiello era as Warren Williams bulls his way to the basket and makes it a 1-point game.
Well, similar to how they started the first half, and that's pounding the ball down low to Warren Williams.
See how they get Kasababu involved. He did pick up the fouls in that first half. 2 personals, and that limited some of his availability. Alvarez, floater on the way. Tipped up, a battle, and Kasababu is there. Taliaferro down the lane, and he's tied up on the way through.
Oh, nice job there. Offensive rebound, Kasababu kicking it out to Taliaferro. And you know he's going to let the 3 fly, so they run at him, and he puts the ball on the floor. Gets himself to the rim, now going to the free throw line. It's a good job.
At this point, when you've shot 7-11 from 3, anybody outside the arc, the Jaspers are going to come running. Taliaferro cannot hit on the first one. 75% from the free throw line, so he's usually good from there. Winner will take on the 2 seed, Canisius. Mack comes in as Taliaferro goes 0 for 2, so leaving some points on the board. Now Mack on the move. Reynolds looking to break free, and they'll get back to Mack to set things up. Hinkson over the top. Williams got the position, goes up strong. He's blocked, but a foul as he went up and tried to go over Methnani.
And that's great execution, half-court basketball by Manhattan. You see Williams has Methnani sealed to throw over the top. And all Methnani can do is foul him. But you know what? It's a good foul. You know, we talked about Williams only shooting 46% from the free throw line over the course of the year, and you got to make him earn it.
Misses the first, and to your point, even though he's had a good start to this one from the free throw line, stats still say odds are he'll struggle, and he misses the first there. Abube getting set to return. Williams hits the second, and he will come out for the moment. We'll have him riding shotgun on the bench there, ready to get back into this one in a hurry. And here comes that pressure now from Manhattan. Kasababu tries to go past Reynolds, and a foul. That's the first on Reynolds. Coach Sidney Johnson in his 8th season, coming over after being the head man at Princeton, where he also played. As part of a successful run there with the Tigers in the 90s as a player. Benning in trouble. And a foul on MAAC. An official giving that signal. He's got to stay upright, getting within that personal space of Taj Benning, and the foul is called.
And Greg, you mentioned Sidney Johnson as a player. He was on the 96 Princeton team that beat UCLA.
Yeah. Taliaferro. But they'll wave that off.
Ran out of bounds to get open.
Good eye, Steve. Remind you of another football rule there.
That's right.
Can't go out and be the next person to touch the ball. Reynolds curling. Bobbles. Obube trying to go around Kasababu. Stewart will let fly. Samir Stewart hitting from 3. And that was much needed for the freshman. His first made basket tonight after going 0 for 3 from downtown. Jaspers in front, and then Stewart, a near steal, diving into the seats behind the basket to try and keep that one alive.
Well, you see Stewart's pumped up after his first 3 of the game. That's a great sight if you're a Manhattan fan. You know Stewart can fill it up, shoots 48% from 3 in MAAC games.
Oh, so close. Laying out for that one. And as much praise as Johnson gives to Kasababu, that's the way Steve Masiello talks about Samir Stewart, talking about Draddy Gymnasium as being his house, him being responsible for things that go on there, and just his basketball IQ being very high. Pestering Benning, who's able to break free, and nice one-on-one maneuvering from Taj Benning. And then a takeaway. Taliaferro now comes up with it. And Alvarez will pump the brakes for a moment. Jaspers in front by 1. Shot clock to 10. Timer to 5. Benning on the move. Floating. Nothing there. Kasababu right in front. Right place, right time. Dumps it home, and Kasababu adding to his point total, now well into the 1,000-point club. So congratulations to Jonathan Kasababu. Came into tonight needing just 2 points. And now with 6 on the night, over 1,000. MAAC for 3. Can't respond. It's tipped around, and here comes Alvarez. And then Stewart takes it away. Teams trading defensive takeaways now. Stewart, jump stop to the lane, blocked from behind. A steal on one end, a shot block on the other. Taliaferro now moving out. Methnani realizes he's surrounded by nobody but Jaspers and will wait for help.
Oh, quite the sequence. The last few possessions there.
A little end-to-end action here.
A lot going on. I thought Fairfield missed an opportunity. Alvarez turned it over. Let's see if he can redeem himself here.
And he does. The long 2 for Neftali Alvarez.
Oh, what a game he's playing here. Really the difference with the way he's scoring the basketball and playing with so much confidence.
These are the moments fans remember. You come to the conference tournament and start showing out. They'll remember that 13 points for Alvarez. Stewart can't respond. Short on the 3. And Fairfield in front now, 39-36. Thomas Capuano and Warren Williams, along with perhaps Tyler Reynolds, ready to come on. It'll be just Williams and Capuano for now. Alvarez, he has the handles. Trying to go to Kasababu. Stewart takes it away. Here's MAAC now. MAAC to the hoop. Lefty layup is there. And the Jaspers claw back to within 1.
I'm looking over at the Fairfield coaching staff, and frustrated look on their faces. And it's a close game. Fairfield's up 1, but I think they believe they could be up more in this game. And they're shooting a high percentage from the floor, and I still think they're leaving opportunities and turning the ball over a little too much. Or they might be up more in this game.
Certainly, with what they've done thus far, they're in a situation now where they're up 1. It could be a lot more. We'll go to timeout and return after this. Manhattan shoots a season-high 82.4% from the free throw line in the first half, and that's been the big difference maker, Steve, as we look at the stats and say, well, why is Fairfield only up by 1? They're shooting the ball better. They've got more three-pointers, 7 out of 11 to 3 of 12. Maybe this should be a 5 or 6 point lead, but it's not.
Manhattan's 15 of 19 from the free throw line in this game, so making up a lot of points there. Fairfield's been whistled for a lot of calls, but that's what Manhattan does to you, and they put a lot of pressure on you. And the Stags only 2 of 4.
Just haven't gotten the opportunities.
No, they haven't.
Back to live action now here, second half, under 15 to go. Kasababu had the defender sealed off, but Green gives the foul before that easy layup.
And that's a foul you probably don't want if you're Sidney Johnson. That's 2 points on the board.
I'm sure you've been asking for more fouls, but as you mentioned, we'll take the easy layup, please. Benning working on MAAC. Williams and Kasababu, a physical matchup. Either side can really get the position they want. Shot clock to 2. Benning's got to go. He's turned away by Williams. And then they'll say a shot clock violation as that never did touch the rim despite going off the window.
Well, phenomenal defensive effort. MAAC on the basketball, but also the way that Williams fought for position against Kasababu. He could never post up in the spot that he wanted to on that possession. And that's the freshman against the senior.
And now this movie will replay itself on the other end. It's Williams. He makes the catch, draws a double, feeds to Hinks, and the floater is in. And he took a bump from Kasababu that maybe was necessary to allow the ball to fall in.
That's good basketball right there. Hinksing dives to the rim on the double team, exactly what you're supposed to do. And I also like the no call. Kasababu contesting the shot, little body, but stayed vertical. And that's a good finish.
And Manhattan back in front. Kasababu, I think, torn between an alley-oop and a shot and throws it off the backboard. Christian Hinkson, the freshman, he has a team-high 13 points. Here's Capuano now. A little two-man game perhaps with Williams. Instead, the step back. There it is for Thomas Capuano, the senior from Hastings-on-Hudson.
And you get the sense that Manhattan's starting to get some momentum here. This is when they ratchet up that defense.
They try and crank it up. They try and force the turnovers, and then that stuff starts to become contagious. Shot clock to 10. Here's Alvarez, who was so hot in the first half. Fading, difficult catch for Kasababu, battling, can't get it to go, and Green comes up with it. He wanted a call, had the position, couldn't put that one home.
Alvarez got caught in the air, but Kasababu was able to come up with the basketball in great scoring position.
And then a foul on Benning as MAAC tries to turn the corner. Stewart getting set to return for Manhattan and Millen for Fairfield. Methnani departing, has had some solid moments. And now Stewart will return to run the point. Hinkson playing so well. Timer to 6. Stewart will back things out and set it up. Hinkson fading for 3. Can't get it to go, and if that had dropped, you'd say this might be some kind of night for the freshman. Wow, the handles from Alvarez. Taliaferro fought for new life for Fairfield on offense. Taliaferro now the floater, that's good. Landon Taliaferro to the bucket and in. It's a 1-point game.
I like the extra pass by Benning on each play. Taliaferro missed the first one. Offensive rebound out to Benning. Another extra pass to Taliaferro, and he's able to use that floater, get into the lane.
Hinkson not afraid to go around the back in traffic. Here's Green. And a tussle, and Williams dragging down Millen, and that'll be a call on the big man for the Jaspers. So this seems to be the story in this one. Back and forth. Fairfield ahead, Manhattan ahead. It's the Jaspers' turn. We've reached a timeout. Back to Albany with more. Second half action, a look at the Fairfield huddle as they trail Manhattan 42-41. Before the break, a foul on Warren Williams, talking with our officiating crew here and confirming they did review that last foul. And we saw earlier, Steve, a flagrant one on the hook and hold. That not the case on this last call on Warren Williams.
Yeah, DJ Carsonson coming over and explaining it, and a good job by him to come over and talk to us. Maybe he heard me at halftime, maybe he heard me in the first half. I didn't love the flagrant foul call, but he said it's a point of emphasis this year in the NCAA and player safety. When guys get held like that as they're about to jump in the air, it can cause injury.
DJ Carstensen, Donnie Epley, Brandon Cruz, this officiating crew here tonight in Albany. And all that stuff, we talked about it earlier, it does come from player safety. I doubt the officials take joy in whistling some of this stuff. Alvarez for three. That circled the whole hoop and out. And here comes Manhattan.
That was a good look, too.
A clean look for Neftali Alvarez. Has a team high 15 to lead Fairfield. Has knocked down 3 triples. Stewart. It's Usillo. And he shuffled. Thought about the triple. And then thought about going to the hoop, and the indecision cost him.
Now, Usillo doesn't shoot the 3 ball. Only 2 of 10 on the year, but he was wide open. Sometimes you just got to let it fly. Right, Greg?
Keep the defense honest. That's what I'd do.
Absolutely.
Put it up. Jaspers forcing Benning to work here in the backcourt. Capuano, a couple of bumps there. A little physical defense. Alvarez. Millen short on the triple, and Usillo able to gather.
Every possession is magnified, right, in postseason play. It's getting to the point now where if it's not Landon Taliafiero shooting the basketball, you probably want Alvarez or you want Casababu at least touching the ball once in a possession.
And it's been tough for Casababu. He hasn't gotten those opportunities to really work under the basket. Capuano for 3, falling down, can't connect. Green and Abube are there. And an offensive second effort, not for long, because Green delivers the charge. And a nice job by Mattia Millen standing in to take that charge.
And Steve Masiello looks at Green and says, "Where are you going?" And he's right. And he's in an area surrounded by red jerseys. And he's got to get that basketball out. I actually thought Fairfield should have trapped that a little bit more aggressive, and they got away with it as Green gets called for the charge.
And this is a thing we've seen Green do a bit as Capuano now gives the foul. He's an athletic kid. Tyke Green has the idea he's maybe going to go up and over people as he works towards the basket, but in a tough spot there. And Millen draws the foul, and now we come down the other end. And there'll be free throws here.
Now Fairfield's been begging for a call on Capuano with the way he's been playing defense in that press. And now Fairfield going to the line here with Manhattan in the bonus. They got to take advantage.
1-on-1 opportunity now. And Fairfield has tied this game at 42. How about this in the crowd? Dunk it, all right. We saw that on the other end. I think Methnani saw that poster earlier when he threw down the jam. I have a feeling the fan signs will build over the weekend. By the time we get to Monday evening, it should get really impressive out there. One of two, and it's all even at 42. Here's Abube, changing hands and hitting off the window. Abube.
It's a nice post-up opportunity for Abube, going to the right hand there on that side of the rim, and a great touch.
Yeah, the lefty showing off. Millen now working on Reynolds. He changes hands on the drive and draws the foul. Drove left, changed back to the right, and the foul on Reynolds. It's his second. Second look here, Steve, at Millen making his way to the basket.
That's a great opportunity for Millen. Catching the ball in the high post against the zone defense, then you have to make a decision. Sometimes that's an uncomfortable area to catch the ball for some players. What do? You got to catch and face up, look high-low, look to rip through and score it, and that's what Millen did. And now he's on the free throw line.
Does not go to the free throw line a lot. This is just his 20th attempt on the year. And a back iron, but gets his own rebound. So new life on offense here for Fairfield, trailing by 1. This is the 10-7 matchup. Stags the 10 seed, Jaspers the 7 seed. Down low, Millen, and he shuffled the feet, had the opportunity, had the catch into the basket. One too many steps.
The Stags can't argue with some of the opportunities that they're getting in this game, and just haven't been able to finish or turn the basketball over. You get the feeling, though, that this game is going to be possession by possession here on out.
It certainly feels that way.
Absolutely. Now, no team can really separate.
Fairfield now with 12 turnovers. Reynolds on the drive. The deal to Buchanan now. Right down the lane. The seas open, if you will, and defenders parting as Buchanan lays it home, and Manhattan now in front by 3.
Well, sometimes it's a simple game, and on that one, just too much reaching in. Taking it back to youth basketball, right? You got to slide your feet.
You reach, I teach, and there goes Buchanan. On the other end, Alvarez off the mark. Casababu down low, and he'll draw a foul. Jonathan Casababu powering up, gathering that rebound, and the senior from the Democratic Republic of Congo, 6'8", 240, taking up space and drawing the foul.
Nice rebound there by Casababu. Now he's got to earn it from the free throw line, and this is a big moment here with Manhattan going up 3, and a nice answer by the senior Casababu to get that offensive rebound, hit his first free throw.
Knocks down both.
That's a great job by the senior.
1-point game, 46-45, Casababu. Johnson saying this week about his senior leader, he is the best of what this conference has to offer. Usillo down the lane, and speaking of the senior, he turns away that attempt, but it'll stay with the Jaspers.
Saving points at the rim. Casababu, big-time block.
Stewart, Usillo, now he'll try the 3. Rattles it all the way down and then out. Couldn't buy one for Samson Usillo.
Oh, Usillo in and out. 2 of 10 on the year going into this game.
Second look here. That Plinko chip just wouldn't stay down, bouncing out, rattling it out. For Price is Right fans there.
And it's just a game of inches now, right? So Usillo, ball goes halfway in, comes out. Alvarez gets bumped on the rebound. Now you trot down 94 feet. Manhattan's in the bonus, and he's going to the free throw line.
Wild swing as he ties the game here at 46.
I was a big Price is Right guy, though.
You were? Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. Good,
yeah.
You're with me.
Yeah, I'm with you. And really, that being the best game.
Yeah.
Plinko.
Fun to watch, easy to understand. Drop the chip, see where it goes. Abube heads out. Free throws, 1 of 2 for Fairfield. So we are tied at 46. And we are under 8 to play in this first round matchup. MAAC tournament action here in Albany. Usillo. Shot clock to 6. Buchanan lobs it behind his head to Williams. 2 on the clock. The hook is there for Warren Williams.
That's a great catch by Warren Williams. A little out of control drive, but Williams bails him out. And nice finish as the shot clock's winding down.
Pressure there from the Jaspers. You have to love the energy of Steve Maciel. He's almost an extra defender over there, encouraging his guys.
And you know his team is a reflection of him. With the way they play, the way they battle, great energy.
Alvarez, difficult a finish there at the rim. Kasababu comes up with it. It's tipped away. Just stripped there by Manhattan. And now Stewart will advance. Jaspers in the lead, 48-46. Third meeting of the year between these two teams. They split the first 2. Each winning in their home gyms, now in neutral territory. Stewart tries to go to Williams. Kasababu bats it away. It'll be last touch by Fairfield with 7 on the shot clock. Jaspers will have the ball, but first a timeout. Back and forth action here, and Warren Williams going old school. The hook puts the Jaspers in front by 2.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
To Atlantic City in 2020, when the MAAC teams battle it out in historic Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. This destination resort is the perfect backdrop for Division I men's and women's hoops, with excitement and entertainment on and off the court. Whether you come for the day or take advantage of special stay and play packages, Atlantic City's world-class shopping, dining, gaming, and spas await you. Make your plans now for the MAAC Basketball Championships in AC, March 10th through 14th, 2020.
Look there at the teams in this conference vying for a title here in Albany. We know one of those teams already moving on, St. Peter's. One getting ready, King Rice. And the Monmouth Hawks, they are up next, getting ready to do battle with Niagara. Things getting pushed back a little bit here tonight. That was supposed to be a 9 p.m. tip, but the St. Peter's game goes to OT. That pushes back this game, and on we go. So it'll be some late-night hoops here in Albany. But first things first, Steve, the conclusion of this one, it's a 2-point game. Christian Hinkson, who has been one of the go-to guys tonight for the Jaspers, he replaces Samson Usillo, and Manhattan is in front by 2. Fairfield, they've gone cold. No made field goals over the last 5:30 plus.
Yeah, they've really cooled off.
Stewart, a heat check. That's a tough shot to make. And a gather by Fairfield.
And a big defensive possession right there by the Stags. Only 4 of 13 in this half is Fairfield, but their defense keeping them in it.
Yeah, after the hot start from 3. Kasababu goes to work on Reynolds, the big swooping maneuver, and it's off the side of the rim. Can't get it to go. And he's been frustrated on the offensive end. Hinkson. Long range Stewart. And Alvarez controls. Samir Stewart has the one three-point make, otherwise has been unable to connect. Now 1 for 8 from the field, 1 for 6 from downtown.
Yeah, Stewart and Reynolds really not doing much in this game, and credit the Stags.
On the other end, a foul there as Millen going around Williams and tumbles to the court. And it'll be a foul on Warren Williams. That is his 4th. That is a big number here with 5:31 left.
It's a huge development in this game now. And Williams is going to have to come out probably until the under 4-minute timeout.
And Abube is waiting at the scorer's table as Millen goes to the line. Can't hit the first. And you mentioned Stewart and Reynolds struggling offensively. And typically when the Jaspers are going to win a basketball game, you're going to have those two, one of them, and then Williams, or 2 of those 3. In this case, Williams with the 10 points, but it's been Christian Hinkson who has been the wild card that has stepped up to fill that offensive void.
Hinkson leading the way with 13 points, so other guys having to step up. But what Manhattan always seems to rely on is their defense. And Fairfield only shooting 28% in this half, 4 of 14.
This is a Jasper-type game. This is a team that allows around 63 points, first in the conference as Buchanan pulls up and cannot hit. But Abube, right place, right time. Reynolds thought about an NBA range 3 and then thought twice as Manhattan leads by 1. But holding a team to that 40, 50-point range, that is right out of the Steve Masiello textbook. Hinkson drops to Abube. In trouble. Out to Stewart. Shooter, shoot. Lets it fly and hits.
That's a big-time shot by Stewart. You see when he hits a shot how much energy he plays on the defensive end with that deflection there. Manhattan goes up 4, able to get a little separation. Now we'll see if Fairfield can answer. That's a good-looking stroke from Stewart.
And credit Stewart having the confidence to keep putting them up after 1 for 6 from downtown. Let's fly with another one, knocks it down. And he has put Manhattan ahead 51-47. Fairfield calling for timeout, down 4. Looking to rally here. They have not scored from the field in the last 7-17. Looking to change that. Fairfield Stags started off hot, 7 3-pointers in the first half. Steve, no 3-point makes in the second half. Yes, they've gotten to the line more, but it's been an adjustment for the Stags.
Only 0 of 3 in the second half, not even getting the attempts up there. So all the Manhattan defense and their style and the way they play, it's just so tough to play against. And right now, Fairfield in a serious drought. No field goals in the last 7 minutes and 17 seconds. They're 1 of their last 9 and 0 of their last 5 from the floor. A good time out there by Sidney Johnson, I thought. And they need an answer here. Manhattan's got a lot of momentum.
Smart timeout call, as you alluded to. Jaspers wanted that 10-second violation in the backcourt, but in a low-scoring affair. 4 points feels bigger than it is, deficit-wise. Alvarez launching. He can't connect, so they get a three-point try. Good hustle there from Millen, but he cannot keep it in bounds.
It's a great contest by Green. Flying out at Alvarez here. I think if you're Alvarez, you got to use that speed and use that first step and get to the rim, put it on the floor.
Hinkson losing control, out to Abube for a three. Benning on the move. And with the shots not falling for Fairfield, to your point, what adjustments do they make here? Is there a different way to go? Using the handles of Neftali Alvarez, we've seen a couple of times the ability to break down the entire defense.
Well, this is what they have to do. Get the ball to the middle of the zone. Use the high post more, go high-low. Millen's actually been aggressive catching that ball and going to the basket.
And Mattia Millen using his height, flashing free. That is where you're going to find that opening in a zone. Able to work his way to the basket. Under 4 to play now. Second half. 2-point game. Hinkson has time for three. A fight for it, and two Fairfield players almost colliding to knock it out of bounds, but Benning able to hang on. Fairfield now looking for a chance to tie or take the lead.
I know Hinkson's having a good game, but he's 3 of 18 from 3 on the season coming into this game. If you're Fairfield, you sign for that shot.
Happy to let those fly, and then Millen an air ball on the baseline jumper, and Stewart controls.
And if you're Manhattan, you probably sign for a Millen mid-range shot in the deep corner.
Lots of defenses in agreement with what they're seeing as of late.
No, this is tournament time. You got to get the guys who are used to scoring the ball in these situations.
Green goes hard to the hoop, tries to posterize Kasababu, and a foul. Oh, Taiki Green was leaving nothing to doubt on that one. And a timeout is called. We've reached the under 4 break. So free throws coming after the freshman tries to take flight. Back to Albany with more. Chris Casey and Niagara just waiting their turn, getting set to take on the Monmouth Hawks in our nightcap here at the Times Union Center. And these games coming down to the wire, pushing things back a bit, so these coaches and players become spectators waiting for their opportunity to try and advance. And Steve, no surprise these games are coming down to the wire. Seasons are on the line. It's win or go home time here in March in Albany. St. Peter's outlasting Marist in overtime, and as you might expect here, it's a 2-point game between Manhattan and Fairfield.
Now you got some evenly matched teams going up against each other in this opening round. And it's been a fun one. Both teams playing pretty well, and both teams playing to their style. You know, Manhattan playing that great defense, and Fairfield shot the 3 really well in the first half, now struggling here in the second. Now, where are they going to get points from here late against that Manhattan zone?
Tyke Green missing the first after he tried to catapult himself over Kasababu. And lived to tell about it. And now he's at the line with one more. Knocks down one of two. It's a 3-point lead for the Jaspers. This is not how the meetings in the regular season played out. In both of those games, one team asserted itself in the second half, and it was a bit figured out as you got down to the end who was going to win the basketball game. Kasababu has the mismatch with Green. Millen off the window, difficult angle, and Hinkson there to control. Thought they might want to try and get Kasababu involved. He had the height mismatch there over Tyke Green.
Man, Kasababu camping out in the paint. I know Manhattan must have been calling for 3 seconds. He needed the basketball there. Then he had to get out of the paint, and Millen needed to shoot it as the shot clock ran down.
Shot clock under 10. Here's MAAC. Around the way, Abube. Barely drawing iron on that attempt. Looks to be last touch by the Jaspers. And so it'll be Fairfield basketball. Methnani comes on and gives Millen a breather. And it feels as if it's been a long time since we've heard from Neftali Alvarez and Landon Taliaferro. These two were big early on, igniting that offense as that last play is going to be under review. Probably looking at who touched it last with 1:53 left and this one 1:54 and a 52-49 lead for Manhattan. But those guys were such keys early, Steve, and they've really been taken out of this game a bit in the second half.
Good job by the Manhattan defense for being aware of where those guys are, especially Taliaferro, because if he gets an open look, you know he's letting it fly. Well, I thought Manhattan's done a great job in this half of knowing where he is against that zone defense. He's a guy that was coming to the high post and then running himself out to one of the wings, and they've done a good job communicating. So it will be Fairfield basketball. A good call. And Abube took that shot in the corner. And if I'm Fairfield, quite honestly, Greg, if anybody other than Stewart, and Reynolds is on the bench right now, but if really anybody other than Stewart or Reynolds is shooting a three from the outside, I think I'm happy with that. I'll sign for it. Somebody wants to beat me from three that's not them, then fine. As long as it's a contested shot.
The stats back you up on that as far as what Manhattan has done this year. Under 2 minutes, coming down to the finish here at the Times Union Center. Taj Benning, now Alvarez, but Fairfield is in need of points. Floater on the way, and on cue, Neftali Alvarez, one of the top freshmen in this conference, an all-rookie selection, connects to make it a one-point game.
And that's what he did in the first half. He used that ball screen at the top of the zone to get into the paint. No Warren Williams in the game with those 4 fouls. Now he's able to get the floater over the big man. Nice job. Big bucket there to pull Fairfield within one.
Masiello will call for time to talk things over here with his group with 1:25 left and a 1-point lead, looking to advance here in the MAAC tournament. Both of these teams, if they're going to make a run, they're going to have to go the long way. They're here in the opening round in this first round. Then on to potentially quarters. Canisius awaits the winner of this one. Fairfield, for the amount of droughts they've gone through, for a team that thrives on the up and down run and gun, still in a position to figure out a way to win this one.
They've hung in here against Manhattan, and like we said, nobody's really separated themselves in this game, so everybody in striking distance. You know, big possession here. Warren Williams back in the game. We've talked about his free throw problems throughout the season. Although he shot them very well in this game, he's 6 of 8. I'm still not letting him beat me down low with a layup or a dunk. If he gets an opportunity, you got to hold him. You can't let him get an easy 2.
Here's Hinkson to the hoop. Up fake, count it, and one. Christian Hinkson with a chance for a 3-point play. And what a night for the freshman to start off his very first MAAC tournament.
Oh, what a phenomenal move here. And how about Steve Masiello out of the timeout, drawing it up for Hinkson. That whole side of the floor was cleared out for him to catch it and go to work. And then the great body control to finish through the contact and make it. And if he hits this free throw, Manhattan goes up 2 possessions in this game.
Masiello turning to the player who has been most comfortable on offense here tonight. It's Christian Hinkson. Knocks it down calmly. And the freshman from Queens, New York, making an impact here. He's put the Jaspers in front by 4 with a big-time three-point play. Where do the Stags go? We're under a minute to play in this MAAC tournament match. Taliaferro, and he is fouled, and that is just what Fairfield ordered. A chance to stop the clock and get 2 free throws. The foul on Green, his 4th. So 2 free throws coming now for Landon Taliaferro with Samir Stewart ready to come on. You can see Sidney Johnson saying no fouls. Make these free throws and just play defense. Every part of the rim and in.
Point's so important now. Every free throw so huge. If you remember, Taliaferro went 0 for 2 from the free throw line earlier in this half.
Way to dredge up his worst memories, Steve.
Well, and that's just something that's uncommon for him, right?
I know. He knocks it down to a little redemption here now and a timeout called. And I think when you're in a 55-53 game, you're going to look back at a lot of possessions and
absolutely
say, we didn't cover that 3. We didn't make those 2 free throws. Box out over here. And now it's come down to this, 54.3 seconds left, 2-point game. And Johnson said before those free throws, just play defense. And so he wants the Jaspers to try and earn this next bucket here. That could be your make or break possession for Manhattan to try and win this game.
And I like that. I think you have to play defense. Now, keep in mind, Manhattan is not a team that scores the ball at a high rate. They only score 57 points per game. So now you have to go get a stop against a team that is not a great scoring basketball team to begin with. Now you got to go get the ball, have a big-time defensive possession here, and then you come down. You can use a timeout if you want to draw up a play, but it all comes down with getting a stop first.
Christian Hinkson has been the guy, 16 points to lead the Jaspers. Abube will run the baseline, get it into Stewart.
And 1 foul to give for Fairfield.
And about a 23-second differential shot and game clock here as we approach the final moments of this one. Samir Stewart taking things down to 10 on the shot clock. Jaspers ahead by 2. Here's Hinkson. Who else? Hinkson, 3, 2 on the clock. Hinkson fading with 1 off the window, can't get it to go. Shot clock is off. Here comes Fairfield. Alvarez racing ahead. Alley-oop, Casababu can't finish. Off the window, the rebound to Manhattan. And the big man could have tied this game on the finish in close. Instead, a foul is given and free throws. Not yet, right? 1 more to give.
Oh, you couldn't have asked for a better sequence. Great defensive possession, really, because Casababu played phenomenal on-the-ball defense against Hinkson, contested the shot. You get a run out. Casababu, after playing defense, runs the floor. He fills the lane. He gets a chance at an alley-oop layup to tie it up and just comes up short. I feel for the senior because that was a great sequence for him. Defense and running the floor to put himself in position.
Tremendous opportunity. Second look here. Alvarez races this up and goes right to Casababu. He's there at the rim.
And just a little too strong on it, actually, as his momentum was carrying him forward. I feel bad for him. Now, if you're Fairfield, you had 1 foul to give. You already gave it, so now the next one, Manhattan goes to the line. Warren Williams is not going to be in the game because of his free throw woes. So you got to deny. You switch every screen. You try to get a steal right away. Possession arrow is also going your way, so you try to get your hands in there, try to force a jump on. If you get called for a foul, then no big deal.
Credit the Jaspers trying to sell that they were taking free throws now, but officials saying, hang on, there's only 6 fouls and 1 more to go before the 1-on-1. So shot clock is off, 16.3 seconds left. Into MAAC. trying to get it into another free throw shooter's hands, and MAAC will call for time in the meantime with 12.6 seconds left. So Fairfield had a little time to work with there to try and get that out of Nehemiah Mack's hands and into someone else's hands.
And you certainly don't want to foul MAAC. He's 85% on the year shooting free throws. And I like the fact that Fairfield didn't foul right away. Some players panic in that situation, and they had a great trap there. It looked like Methnani was trying to get his hands in there and get a jump ball. But MAAC did a good job of protecting it, called the timeout. No timeouts left now for the Jaspers.
And that's big. So no timeouts left for Manhattan, 1 for Fairfield. As we come down to the wire here in this first round matchup between the 7 seed Manhattan Jaspers, 10 seed Fairfield. It has been like this all night long, back and forth. Teams have traded leads. We've had 5 ties.
Oh, Greg, MAAC shoots 85%, Samir Stewart 83%, Tyler Reynolds 88%.
Going down the list, trying to find somebody
So
that you
find
feel
a guy
good
to
about
foul.
fouling. Jasper fans feeling good about where their team is right now, trying to hang on here. Jaspers winning on the women's side earlier today, and so looking to make it a clean sweep at least for day 1. So now Bube will inbound again, and again, same situation as Steve described before, in that they'll look to steal, and then this time when giving the foul, it will result in a 1-and-1 for Manhattan. Into Stewart, and they give the foul from behind, trying for the poke away, not there. And so the foul on Benning. Take a look over here now. We've heard of sports drinks. Abube goes to the pickle juice, which I have heard is a deterrent for cramps. So as wacky as that looks.
That looks great.
Do what you got to do.
Oh, I love it.
Abube, powered by pickle juice. Stewart knocks down the first, but here comes the real important one. Great job by our crew finding that shot, by the way.
That was a great shot.
Second one. Knocks it down calmly. How about the freshman here tonight for Manhattan? Hinkson doing the job. Stewart knocking down some big free throws. Now 10.7 seconds left, a 4-point lead for the Jaspers. Looking to advance to take on the 2 seed in Canisius. Fairfield's got to go. Benning racing it up court. Around the back. Nowhere to go. Benning out of time. MAAC to the floor. Capuano comes up with it. Green will put on the cap. Tries to jam it. He's fouled at the horn. But this one has been decided. It'll be the Manhattan Jaspers moving on.
Well, a very fitting way for Manhattan to end the basketball game, forcing a turnover with their pressure defense. And their defense was the name of the game here in the second half, holding Fairfield to 6 of 20 shooting, 30%.
They'll take on Canisius, the 2 seed. After a back-and-forth affair, and Steve, the freshman, lead the way. Christian Hinkson, 16 points, and then Samir Stewart, some big free throws to finish things off late in this one.
Hinkson had a huge 3-point play in this game. What a response from Hinkson as the freshman stepping up. Warren Williams had 10 points. Stewart, not great numbers on the night, only 2 of 9, but hit a huge 3 in the second half and also hit 2 big free throws. And we know Greg Meskel in a second is going to be joined by head coach Steve Masiello. Let's send it to Greg.
Thanks, Steve. Joined here by Steve Masiello. Coach, what a back-and-forth game. Freshman coming up so big tonight. What can you say about Hinkson, Stewart, Warren Williams?
It's who we recruited. And we spoke to them all this week about be who you are. You're no longer freshmen. It's your program. And we're going to ride with you. And we want them to come in and have fun. We're very confident in our group. Great group of young men to coach. Very fortunate to come out against a very good Fairfield team and get a win.
People know about Manhattan Jasper's defense. When the offense isn't happening, how much of a strength is that pressure defense?
It's I don't know if it's good or bad. We've been dealing with that most of the year. It's something we're, I don't want to say used to, but we have to win ugly, we'll win ugly. And that's what we'll try to do. We were fortunate to get away with tonight. Give Fairfield credit to make some tough shots early, and then we adjusted in the second half and did some good things.
Coach, congrats. Good luck against Canisius. Thank you. And now we'll welcome in Warren Williams. Freshman Warren Williams, congratulations on the win. You had to battle in this one against a tough Fairfield team. What was the difference in your mind down the stretch?
We've just been preparing all week. Adversity is a big thing on this team. That's what it's really about. The struggle is beautiful, man. And we just stuck through it, and we got the win.
Seems like throughout this season, all the freshmen have had their moments. You've had your games. Samir's had his games. Tonight, Christian Hinkson comes up big. What can you say about your fellow classmate?
Like I said, man, it's just we just battle through adversity. Every guy's good on the team. We're always going to come out and try and do our best just to, get the win, man.
Warren, congrats on the big victory.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Steve.
Oh, what a great job by the Manhattan defense in this game, stepping up. And Warren Williams, 10 points, 4 rebounds, doing a great job of protecting the paint for the Manhattan Jaspers as they move on now to the next round.
Championship bracket presented by the New York Lotto, and we know now that St. Peter's and now Manhattan are moving on. The nightcap still to come, Monmouth and Niagara, but it sets up Iona St. Peter's, Ryder Siena, Canisius Manhattan tomorrow, and then we'll find out, Steve, between Quinnipiac and either Monmouth and Niagara.
Well, looking forward to the Monmouth-Niagara game. It was an hour delayed. Nobody wants to see Manhattan on their side of the bracket with the way that they play, their style, their defense. Just a tough team to play against.
Steve Masiello talked about it. For better or for worse, this is what we're known for, our defense, and it comes up big. But tonight, they turn to some of their key newcomers as Christian Hinkson leads the way. So for Steve Bazaz, I'm Greg Meskel saying so long from Albany, where the final score is Manhattan 57 and Fairfield 51. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everyone.